What's up, guys? It's your girl Serpentine 10, and today we're going to talk about the potential characters that could be showing up for season 3 of Street Fighter 6. So, ever since Bison dropped and we had his very amazing story modes, it was very in depth. We got a lot of skin from M. Bison, something I thought I would never see, but a lot has been revealed about this new Bison. And by the way, that has been debunked, as one of the creators has already said that this is Street Fighter V Bison, so we no longer have to worry about that. So this Bison definitely did reveal a lot in his story mode, and if you played World Tour, a lot was revealed there. So we're going to talk about all of that and the potential characters that could be showing up for season 3. Now, if you played through all of his story and the world tour, you know that Bison is trying to remember who he is. I actually like how he actually says that people call him Bison. Sometimes they call him Vega. I thought that was funny because that is a reference to the Japanese name that is given to this character. So I thought that was a good nod there. In his story, he comes across Juri, and obviously she knows who he is, but he was not too sure. They had a huge battle, and he just did not seem to be too interested in her unless he was going to have some use for her. So it was a very interesting, interaction. I wasn't really sure what Juri was doing here. It seems like she wants no part of Shadaloo, or is she trying to find something? It's very likely she could be, but it was very, weird to see her just at the Shadaloo base all of a sudden. But through the whole interaction, you fight her and, she loses. And throughout that interaction, you come across, other people talking to Bison in World Tour. So that is what I'm going to talk about next, because there's a lot of revelations there. So the entire time that you play World Tour, you finally find Bison, and you were actually sent out on this mission by Fang. So Fang goes by Fu, which is kind of weird that he would make it so close to his original name. And once you actually find Bison, it's kind of funny that he does want to, bring back his old comrades and everything, and potentially Shadaloo, but he doesn't seem like he's in a rush to really do that. And it's also interesting that he even talks about all the past people that was in Shadaloo, even Sagat. It was kind of weird him mentioning Sagat, even though we know Sagat left the Four Kings a while back. And it actually is kind of funny because when the character says something about, hey, do you know Fang? He does not remember who Fang is, and Fang is upset by that, you can actually tell. And he is saying that, well, if Master Bison doesn't remember me, then he can't be the real Bison. That's what Fang thinks. But, Fang is number 2, so can he really be remembered? But I'm not really sure why he doesn't remember Fang very well, but it's really interesting. But it's really interesting how you go through the rest of the world tour, and he talks about other characters, and you even get in contact with them, through Fang, which this was the most wildest thing. I never thought it would happen, but you get to actually talk to Vega and Balrog, and it's a crazy scene, cutscene and all. So it seems like Vega is just living it up in Italy somewhere like usual. And, he's like, well, I'm just living it up in my castle, doing my own thing. But, it was fun being a part of Shadaloo, and I'm not above, joining it again. So it seems like Vega is very interested in joining Shadaloo again if, it has any fun requirements like it used to be. So he just wants to have fun like the good old days, and he said he's 100% in if he can do that. Balrog, on the other hand, is a famous boxing company owner now, and he is somewhere living it up with a lot of money, and he says that Shadaloo was a good time. It was all right. He didn't really care for it 1000%, but he doesn't know if he wants to go with Ed's Neo Shadaloo or go back to regular Shadaloo. He didn't know who he wanted to pick, so that makes things really interesting. Having all this shown is really wild that, Bison wants all his old comrades back again, even Sagat out of all people. You're talking to him and he's like, hey, yeah, I want all these people back. If I could get them all back, that'd be cool. And it was really interesting that at the end of the conversation, he showed this picture of everybody in a Shadaloo outfit. And I thought that was cool because you got to see even Sagat there, which he wasn't really in the costume. He was kind of holding it in his hand, but he was still there. And JP was there, which was fascinating, which we know he's a part of Shadaloo, obviously, though. So, with all this being revealed, Bison's plans, who he wants to come back on his team, that he wants to revive Shadaloo in a way, and he's having some trouble remembering some people, but it seems like he wants to get back on track, but not so fast. And this is just really interesting. So it opens a lot of different doors on what may happen here with characters and story. Us seeing, Vega, Sagat, Balrog. There's even a section where they talk about how him and Rose was taught by the same master when he was wielding soul power, which he, turned into psycho power later, which that could have 4 characters that we might have show up in season 3. But these are all just predictions. These might not be the characters, per se. They just might be just cameos for right now. But it's very interesting that they're showing them. I mean, they have full dialogue. And if Bison is really, reviving Shadaloo, I mean, heck, we just got done having like a whole, battle pass based on Shadaloo not too long ago. So if he's reviving Shadaloo, it's very likely we might get these characters in season 3. But you guys let me know what you think about all this, and if you think Shadaloo is on its way back for good. And you know what you have to do. Make sure you guys are following me on my Twitter, and make sure you guys check me out here every week on YouTube. Until next time, guys. Peace.